So it's not enough that you're dealing with the aftermath of a natural disaster, but now you have to duck and dodge anybody who might have gotten the wrong idea because it was posted to 3.5 million people and they just might have missed that community note. Hi, I'm Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in order to build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can put them in the comments. You can email me at reese@reesewaters.com. I would like to first extend my love and send prayers out to all those that have been affected by the wildfires out in California. And as I have previously stated, there is no disaster or calamity that is so significant, meaningful, sad, and impactful that it can't be infused and embedded with misinformation.
Tonight, anger and a search for where to put it. Los Angelenos are fighting through the worst days of their lives, and they're trying to figure out who to point the finger at to explain this gut punch loss that they are wading through right now. President-elect Donald Trump is faulting the governor, Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom had an opportunity to have millions of gallons a week, a day, millions and millions of gallons come down from the north. And I was able to get him federal approval from that, from the Department of Commerce of all departments. I didn't realize it would go through Commerce. I would have thought environmental, but it goes through Commerce. I got all of the approvals, and he said, I don't want to sign it. I don't want the water.
But if just the basic politicizing of the fires wasn't enough, now we get this. Black men falsely accused of looting while evacuating wildfire. A video showing two black men carrying items out of a home during the California wildfires went viral, igniting accusations of them being looters. Critics of the premature accusations labeled them as rooted in racial bias. The California wildfires, exacerbated by dry conditions and high winds, have led to widespread devastation. More than 30,000 acres have burned, thousands of homes have been destroyed, and over 100,000 residents have been forced to evacuate. Amid the chaos, law enforcement officials have reported incidents of looting in evacuation zones and promised to hold those found to be looting to the fullest extent of the law. A video of men carrying bags of items away from a fire and a TV out of a house has gone viral on social media. One user whose post on X, formerly Twitter, has 3.5 million views, commented that the usual suspects are looting again. A community note was appended to the original post. Oh, well, that's good that they put a community note on there. Yeah, that is significant that they put the community note. And so the 3.5 million people, they will all see the community note. I hope you're paying attention, Facebook. Because this is exactly what your platform about to look like. Huh? Oh, that was the idea. That was the idea that stuff like this can spread before you can pull it. Oh, okay. All right. I got you. Let's take a look at that post, by the way. A community note on the post said the footage was from KTLA News and the people in it were a homeowner's family and friends. The homeowner told KTLA that her brothers were helping to salvage belongings from the property amid widespread evacuations in Los Angeles County. Quote, they told us to leave and we got what we could. We have dogs, we have animals, we just got what we could get. That's all we could do. We've got to start over. Let's check that out. While talking about her son, she told KTLA that her son got, quote, everything that was of value to his mother.
Caught fire? So tell me what happened, how that played out. They told us to leave, and we got what we could. We have dogs, we have animals. We moved that stuff, and then we waited to see. We waited across the street, and that rude guy right there, I yelled at him and cussed him out because he acted like he don't understand. Like, we trying to get our stuff. You going home tonight? We not. And we just got what we could get. That's all we can do. We got to start over.
And how many of y'all live here?
Me and my 3 kids.
You don't know where you're going next?
Nope, but I'm going somewhere.
Yeah, tell me, how did you get all these? So these all friends, family?
They are. My brothers work for the city of Pasadena. They wet the vegetation before the firefighters came. The Compton firefighters is the only ones who really put the water out here and everything. The city of Pasadena employees wet the vegetation and prevented it from getting all the fire out here.
So let me get this straight. These people are evacuating in a wildfire, trying to remove all the things that they possibly could, everything that's of value to his mother and all the relatives who came to try and help this woman to evacuate her house. And now have to deal with not only the accusations of being looters on the open internet, but what might come after that, since they are seen as being criminals roaming the streets. So it's not enough that you're dealing with the aftermath of a natural disaster, but now you have to duck and dodge anybody who might have gotten the wrong idea because it was posted to 3.5 million people and they just might have missed that community note.
I am tired of people speaking negatively about the Black community. I'm tired of seeing fake headlines painting Black people in a bad light to get some attention. I'm tired of people justifying their racism and hatred and diverting it to Black people who, for the most part, mind their own business and positively contribute to society. Black people are a net positive to any community that gets the pleasure of being around them. Most Black men and women are very upstanding individuals. Do you know the level of discipline most Black families have to go through just to try to fit into America from back in the day? It doesn't matter how hard we try, how much we contribute, what we do, everything we accomplish, what we invent, no matter what, it still comes back down to this weird focus and obsession with hating Black people. And I don't get it. This video is in response to the looting headlines circling LA. They're saying that looting is occurring in LA while these fires are going on. I'm sure there is. However, the only video that came out was a bunch of Black people in a house moving stuff out of the house with fire trucks and policemen all around the house. So you truly believe that these people are robbing a house right in front of policemen and firemen? So the neighborhood is too nice. It can't be their house they're moving their stuff out of, very calmly, walking very slowly. What is this weird societal obsession with taking all your rage and hatred out on the Black community? I don't understand it. We have put up with this all of our lives and it still continues today. It doesn't matter how successful we get. It doesn't matter how much we contribute. These are the same headlines that I saw as a kid that made me not want to be Black.
And by the way, we have seen this before. Y'all remember what was happening during the hurricanes last year?
What's going on, buddy?
That nigga done brought a team out here.
Obviously, he doesn't live here.
The reason why I asked you to live here is a private community, so if you don't live here, you need to leave. So if you live here, you're visiting a friend, that's fine, just let us know, because you're getting neighbors concerned since you're walking around my house.
I'm not walking around your house.
Hold on, Steve. You've been past my house 4 times, I don't know you, I've never seen you here before, and you're walking past my house over and over again. So if you live here or you have a friend you're visiting here, that's fine.
I'm not in front of your house.
You're
You actually following me.
Laura Myers, who has nearly 70,000 followers on X, shared a screenshot of a post accusing the men of being looters and criticized people spreading the false footage. Other users said people making the assumption that the men in the video were looters was an example of racism. Well, let's see. How would it not be racism? Just like, you know that people are evacuating their homes, and I'm trying to figure out why this was not applied anywhere else, but now when you see the Black people out now, was it the bag? Was it the brand of the bag? Was it the quality of the bag? Was that it? I'm trying to figure out why. Because the other one said the usual suspects, right? Is that what you said? Because if you wanted to convince me it wasn't racism, you definitely wouldn't have put the usual suspects are at it again. You told on yourself. You told on yourself. I mean, really, I ain't seen anybody dry snitch like this since the people from the Brown Roundup openly admitted they were trying to take Latino homes.
Tonight, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office confirms a racist letter circulating among local leaders. It calls for a, quote, roundup of brown people. The sender is unknown.
In a letter called the Brown Roundup Part 1, an unknown writer telling leaders in coastal Oregonian communities to track down, quote, brown people and to report them to the federal government next year.
Tariq Nasheed, film producer and internet personality, shared the video and wrote on X that degenerate online suspected white supremacists are falsely accusing black people who are helping their neighbors move their possessions to safety as being looters. Anybody object to any word there? Any objection? Any objection? I also of note, these must be the contemptible fools that Elon Musk was talking about when he said the racists in the Republican Party had to be rooted out. But somehow he quiet on this one though. Why he so quiet? Cause with the H-1Bs, he had so much to say about the racism, but now he must be in adult gym class. That's probably why he didn't say nothing about this race, because he in adult gym class. They learning how to jump up and down. Open source Intel, an ex-user with over 300,000 followers, apologized for sharing the video after learning that the people were evacuating their home and weren't looting. I'm now called racist, and that's fine, but just know I have absolutely nothing against people of color. Quite the opposite. Well, I appreciate the apology. The wording was a little interesting though. You have nothing against people of color, quite the opposite. So you saying you love people of color? Because that was an interesting way to show your love. Yeah, that is an interesting way for you to show your love by posting something like that. That is the kind of love that I am going to steer the youth away from. I'm just going to be honest. That's a toxic love right there. Local authorities have been on high alert to prevent looting in areas affected by the wildfires. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna confirmed 20 arrests related to looting and emphasized a zero tolerance policy. We're up to 20 individuals who chose to go into areas and deprive these poor people who have been through so much of their property, he said during a press conference, adding that more arrests could follow. I'm sorry, did you say 20? Like 20? So you put this all out there for the people to look out for, and there's 20? I think we had 20 looters today in DC. No fires or nothing. Catherine Barger, Los Angeles County Supervisor, during a press conference, I promise you will be held accountable. Shame on those who are preying on our residents during this time of crisis. DA of Los Angeles County, Nathan Hochman, in a video on X said, let me make it quite clear what's going to happen. The DA's office, working with law enforcement, is going to arrest you. They're going to prosecute you, and you'll be punished to the full extent of the law. That's a promise.
To those people that want to go up and loot, the full weight of the county will come down on you. And that's going to start with the district attorney who's issuing a press release and is going to make sure the full extent of the law is played out if you are caught looting in any area impacted by this fire.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, in a statement to Newsweek, said, we understand the deep concerns Los Angeles County residents feel about the safety of their homes and belongings during this challenging time. Protecting their property is important, and we want to ensure them that the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is actively patrolling evacuation zones to deter and address any criminal activity. However, the safety of the residents and their loved ones will always be the department's main priority. Remaining in areas under evacuation orders puts lives at significant risk, including the lives of first responders who may need to assist. We strongly urge residents to follow the evacuation orders set in place and trust that the department is doing everything to safeguard their communities. Authorities continue to patrol evacuation zones to deter further looting. With plans to implement curfews in heavily impacted areas, the Palisades Fire and the Eaton Fire, the two biggest burning in Los Angeles County now, are still burning and remain less than 10% contained.
What did you love and lose in the fire?
I lost everything. From a guy with everything to nothing. I lived my whole life helping people. And I didn't think it would happen to me, but it did. But I have my health and my life. About 10 or 12 years ago, I was going home, going up late, and I see this person sitting on the bench shaking, which I knew him anyway, because I coached him when he was in high school. He says, "Where's your jacket?" He says, "Coach, I don't have one." I said, "Okay, but I ended up giving all of my jackets away." A lot of people helped me when I was a kid, so that makes a difference. I used to have a sporting goods store. Then I started giving away shoes because when I was going to elementary school, I prayed many days because my shoes had holes in them that they wouldn't break. So they short of money, I gave them the shoes anyway. The young man today drove at least 200 or 300 people to see their houses, and I offered to give him some money for gas. And he says, "No, I won't take it, Walt, because you wouldn't take it." Maybe he's gonna be my replacement, which wouldn't be bad, you know. I'm one of these dumb guys that think you can save the world. I would think that way till I die. I've been knocked down before, but not like this. Times are tough, but I'm not giving up.
Just as I was saying that they are literally criminalizing our existence. We can't hold a job of any esteem without being accused of being a DEI, whether it's a bridge that collapsed and they could somehow blame the mayor, or maybe there's protests on campus and they could blame the university president, whether it happens to be a vice president who just so happens to be the person running against your orange Jesus. Whatever the case may be, you are a DEI if you are a black person and you're in any position of prominence.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me if you
I just defined it, sir.
Here's my question. What is it that black people are able to do? What can we do? Because apparently we can't evacuate a fire now. That is not something that we are able to do. I recognize from the anti-DEI movement that we are not able to hold a job of any esteem without having our credentials ignored and then denounced. We just saw with Miss America, we can't win a pageant. We can't exist in a pageant at all without that being DEI. We couldn't walk down the street during a hurricane. We saw that we could not walk down the street during a hurricane. And as we've seen with the litany of other examples of things that we cannot do that have led to some terrible outcomes for black and brown people just existing. Here we have a family trying to help a woman evacuate her house, and they're accused of looting. And not only are they accused of looting, because there's going to be bad actors among us, right? There's going to be bad actors among us. There are stone cold racists out there that are just waiting for a moment to accuse black people of this kind of behavior. But our apparatus is set up to amplify and spread this stuff, which was why it got to where it did. We have a system set up to amplify this kind of lie. And based on the news that we just heard from Meta, this is only going to get worse.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today. because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US.
All of these systems and filters and all this kind of stuff are specifically tuned not to protect us. Why is it that free speech always seems to come at our expense? Why is that? Huh? Why free speech just seems to come at black people's expense all of the time? Well, God, that is pretty curious. While at the same time, I'm having to hear about anti-DEI and the only racism is anti-white racism, right?
This is my favorite. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you before I say it that it enraged me. There is a definite anti-white feeling in the country right now.
Oh, please.
Yeah, that's what he said. You know, sir.
No. Sir?
Yeah, sir. Nobody in your family was hung. Nobody in your family was chased because of the color of their skin. How dare you? There's no anti-white issue here.
Well, see, that's why we did the community note. We did the community note because for us to filter that would have been coming down on the author of that, who is presumed to be white. So that would be anti-white racism if we were to come down on that. So we let him spread the black racism because you know we good with that.
We're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Now, I would like to issue, despite not being guilty of any of this, the apology that I know they will never receive from these right-wing trolls to this family for having to deal with this mischaracterization. I just find it fascinating that these accounts with all of these thousands and millions of followers never seem to lose their fervor for this kind of content, despite it being revealed to be false time and time and time again. It's kind of like facts don't matter. You know, it's kind of like the information doesn't matter. You've made up your mind the kind of image and ideas you want to project of the world, and you'll just say whatever in order to push that.
They are programmed to think and react to small stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind. Even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change their basic perception and their logic of behavior. Therapists have been screaming at the top of their lungs that this is what we're going through. A person who is demoralized is unable to access true information. The facts tell them nothing. Even if I showed them information with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if you take them to a concentration camp, they will refuse to believe it until it hits them. Until literally they're the ones who are impacted. That is demoralization. That is where we're at right now. It goes on to say the next stage is destabilization.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk about that. Stay tuned. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel as we approach a new administration and the changing winds of our media landscape. I want to invite you to join my channel. I think it's very important to preserve a space and a platform where I can communicate clearly and honestly, as all of our creators are hoping to maintain. Unfortunately, it looks like that ground may be evaporating right underneath our feet. So I wanted to let you know I'm going to continue to post on my channel, but I'll also be posting more in the membership section as well, so we can have clear and honest conversations. You can find the button to join right there on my page. There's also a link in the description box to all of my videos. I also want to invite you to join my mindfulness and meditation channel. That's my second channel. It is Way of Waters, because we gonna need it. We gonna need it. I might wear that thing out by the midterms.